Hey lovelies, welcome back to my channel. So today I've got yet another gorgeous transformation for you all. To start off, I'm just going to be wiping my model's skin just to make sure there's no excess product or anything on the face. And then I'm going to go in by moisturizing her face with my Embryolisse, Embryolisse Lait Cream Concentrate. Once that's buffed into the skin, I'm going to be using my mattifying primer, and I use my favorite one, which is the BECCA one. I'm just going to apply this primarily to her T-zone areas, and this is just going to keep the face kind of matched during the day and just keep the oils away. And once that's done, I'm going to apply some around the brow areas as well. Then I'm going to go in to fill her brows, and I'm using my favorite brow pencil ever, which is my Average Brow Wiz in dark brown. So I'm going to use this to outline her brow first. And then once I'm done outlining, I'm going to be using my NYX brow pencil in chocolate, which is a bit lighter than the ABH one I just used. And I'm just going to use this to fill in her brow hair. I kind of used the lighter one because I wanted like natural looking brows. And then I'm going to be using my Studio Finish concealer in NC50 and NW45. So I mixed NC50 and NW45 for the outer corner and the inner corner. And then just right under her brow bone, you guys can see that it's a bit lighter. I used just the NC50 one. And this just gives like the brow a really nice, gorgeous arc. And I'm going to use just NW55 on the top of her brows because it's closer to her skin tone. And then once I'm done doing that, I'm just going to buff out the concealer around the brows. Up next, I'm going to be using my Melanie Mills Body Radiance in Deep Gold. I'm just going to apply this all over the face just to kind of give more of a dewy glow when we apply the foundation. And what I'm going to do is buff that into the skin. And once I'm done with that, I'm going to be taking my AJ Cream Thin Foundation in 6.5, and I'm just going to apply this all over the face. And once I'm done doing that, I'm going to be using my E.L.F Makeup Setting spray on the brush. I'm going to buff the product into her skin. Once I'm done using the brush, I'm going to go in with my damp beauty blender just to kind of press the product further into her skin. And then to highlight her face, I'm going to be using my Kevyn Aucoin Sensual Skin Enhancer in number 13. I'm just going to apply this to the areas of the face that I want to highlight. And what I decided to do with this product, well, what I like to do rather, is I like to buff it out with a brush first because it is quite it's quite heavy, like it's a full coverage concealer. So I'm going to buff it out with this brush from Real Techniques. And then once I'm done buffing it out with the brush, you guys are going to see me going and further use the beauty blender. So I use a brush first, and then I use a beauty blender to just press the product into the skin more and make sure it's blended well. To bring more to further highlight under the eyes, I guess, I'm going to be using the Sensual Skin Enhancer number 12. And I just like using like a slightly lighter concealer right under the eyes just to make it super bright. And then I'm going to be using whatever is left over my beauty blender on her eyelid. And once I'm done with that, I decided to cream contour for you guys today. So I'm using my favorite cream shadow from Nye. I'm using the shade Extra Dark, and I really primarily only use this in the hollows of her cheeks. So just, to sculpt out the face a bit more. And then once we're done with the highlighting and contouring, I'm going to be using my YSL Touche Declat powder to set her highlighted areas. For the rest of her face, guys, I'm going to be using my MAC Miniralise Skin Finish Powder in Dark Deepest. You guys already know how much I love this Miniralise Skin Finish powders. I'm just going to use this to set the foundation all over the rest of her face. And once I'm done doing that, I'm going to be contouring using my ABH Contour Powder in Espresso and Carob. So for her nose area, I used primarily Espresso, and I'm just going to use this to carve out the nose areas. We gotta snatch the nose. And then once I'm done with that, I'm going to be using a bit of Carob because it's slightly darker around to contour around her face. So I'm going to be using this on her cheekbone, around her face, just to bring more dimension to the face. To reverse contour, I'm going to be using the same face powder that I use on her, which is my MAC in Dark Deepest, and this is just going to help, you know, the contour area pop up more. And then we're going to go in and just bake the face with the setting powder I use before we go on to the eyeshadow. So onto the eyes, we kept things very natural. I literally only used one transition color, and that's MAC's eyeshadow in Brown Script, and I just popped this into her crease and just buffed it out, and that's pretty much it. Well, we're gonna go into line the eyes next, and I'm going to do that using my Inglot gel liner in number 77, the blackest, darkest, bestest gel liner in the market. So because I wanted to do like a really kind of like nice winged liner, I went to my Rimmel Glam Eyes liquid liner because it has like a really skinny tip like applicator, and I used this to just create the wing. And then once I'm done with that, I'm just going to I'm going to dust off all the excess powder off the face, and then I'm going to be using my MAC blush in Raisin and Format, and I'm just going to pop this on the cheeks. And then to set the face, I'm going to be using my Morphe Continuous Setting Mist, and this thing is thebomb.com. And then for some glow, I'm going to be using my Melanie Mills Radiant Dust and my Inglot Sparkling Dust. I use number 3 Antique Gold. I'm just going to apply this to the cheeks, you know, the tip of the nose, forehead, areas of the face that I want to highlight. Blend the falsies to her natural lashes. I'm going to be using my Maybelline Grit Lash Mascara and my L'Oreal Miss Manga Mascara. You guys already know how much I love those two mascaras. So we're more or less done with the eyes. We're going to go on to the lips, and I used my Kat Von D liquid lipstick in Vampira and Outlaw. So Vampira is the slightly darker color you guys can see me using, and I'm just going to use this. I'm going to use it like a lip liner. I'm going to use it to outline the lips, and then once I kind of get, you know, the lips perfectly outlined, I'm going to buff that in, and then I'm going to go in and take Outlaw, which is the gorgeous, like, it's such a pretty red color, and I'm just going to use this to fill in her lips. Some more mascara, and voila, we are all done. This look is gorgeous. It's pinned up. It's super easy to create. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye guys.